In this chapter, we're going to finish up the UI for our JQuery mobile HTML5 app. All right, so far we have the landing page or the home page, which looks like this. All right, so now what we want to do is create the add page. So when we click this, it's going to bring us to the add page, and you can see that that link goes to a div with the ID of add, which we don't have yet. Alright, so what we're going to do is kind of create another page. Alright, so we're going to use this same format. Actually, let me just copy this whole thing here. Okay, so that's the home page, so let's go a couple spaces down. Alright, so this here will be the add page. Let's change the ID to add. And let's see what else. So in the header, we're going to have a save button and a cancel button. Alright, so let's do the cancel first. Let's get rid of, actually let's change this H1 to add a to do. Alright, and before that we're going to create a link. And this is going to just go to index.html because we're going to create a click handler for this later. Let's see, so we'll give it an ID. Okay, so the ID we'll say is cancel button, and then we want to include a delete icon, and we can do that very easily just using the data icon attribute. Okay, and you can look all these up at the JQuery mobile website in the documentation. Alright, and this is going to say cancel. Alright, and then under the H1 we're going to create the save link. Same thing, it's going to go to index.html. Alright, and let's give this a data icon. It's going to have the check icon, and I want this button to be black, so data theme is going to be B. Okay, we'll say save. Alright, so let's see what this looks like. If we save this and reload the home page and we click on add a to do. Alright, so it's taking us there. You can see we have the cancel and the save button, but we still have all the home page content here, which we don't want. So in the content div, I'm going to get rid of all this. Footer's fine, footer can stay the same. But here we're going to have a form, and we'll give it an ID of add form. And then in here we're going to have a text input. And the name is going to be to do name. Same with the ID. And we'll give it a placeholder, which is another feature of HTML5. Alright, and then we want the date, so we're going to use the HTML5 date input. So type date. Alright, so let's save that. Okay, so here's our add page. Put in the name, the date. Now it's not going to do anything for us. I mean, it goes back to the index page, but it doesn't add anything. Obviously we have to do that with JavaScript. But you can see that it actually remembered the values. Alright, so what I want to happen when we save this, I don't want it to just go to index.html. What I want it to do is I want it to submit the form. Now if we look in this code, we don't have a submit button in our form. We want to use the save button, but it's not in the form tags, so we can't just use a conventional input button. So we need to add a click handler to this save button. Alright, so we're going to say on click, and we're going to use JQuery. We want to get our add form, so we'll grab that by its ID, and we want to say dot submit. Alright, so basically what we're saying here is when this save button is clicked, we want to submit the form with the ID of add form, which is this form here. Alright, so when we click save, it's going to submit this form. Now I want to do the edit page, which is basically going to be the same thing. So I'm just going to copy all this and call this edit page. Alright, that looks good. Okay, for the click handler, we just want to submit the edit form, and we got to change that here as well. Alright, and I think that's pretty much all we have to do for right now. Actually, you know what? We do have to do one thing. We need to add a delete button to the edit page. Alright, so right under the last input, I'm going to put in a link. Link doesn't have to go anywhere. We'll give it an ID of delete. Data role is going to be button. Okay, so that should do it. Alright, so that is, I think that's all of the HTML that we need. Alright, so basically the UI is done. Now we just need to use JavaScript with jQuery to power it. So we'll start that in the next video.